Facebook.com/Oluyole98.5 FM or Twitter at Oluyole FM. Check us out also on Instagram, Radio Garden, and Mixler. That's the online radio platform, mixler.com/Oluyole FM. On Facebook and Twitter, we're streaming live. You can watch us in the studio and listen to us from wherever you are. The website of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State remains the same, www.bcus.tv/listen. That's our website. So from anywhere you can listen, audio only via the website. You can listen from anywhere in the world. You can type that and send it to anyone wherever they are, okay, so they can get to listen to us. www.bcus.tv/listen. On this program, we do newspaper review with top-notch analysis, and of course you get to contribute to the program as well. So once again, you are welcome. Today is the 28th day of September 2020. We go straight to the papers. I have a copy of the Punch newspaper.
Let's have a copy of the Nigerian Tribune.
Breaking: Labour suspends planned strike as federal government reverses electricity tariff hike. You heard it right. Breaking: Labour suspends planned strike as federal government reverses electricity tariff hike.
What about petrol?
Even the electricity tariff hike itself, that's common. When we get there, okay, we'll give you details very soon. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Federal government to address challenge of forex availability to oil marketers. That's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Sounds interesting, because that's one major challenge right now as we speak. Buhari submits PIB to National Assembly, scraps NNPC PPPRA in new bill. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper, and as a rider, proposed law creates Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to replace NNPC. Finance petroleum ministers to determine assets, liabilities to be inherited by new firm. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
NNPC replaced with NCP. What difference would that make?
Change the nomenclature. Does it change the people there and the activities?
Wow.
We'll do for a commercial break. We'll go on the brief run. So be back. Don't go anywhere.
The Global Youth Leadership and Girl Child Foundation, in partnership with the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, presents the 6th International Interdisciplinary Conference on Raising Girls' Ambition, RAGA 2020. Theme: Advancing Women's Career for Sustainable Development. Date: 13th to 16th October 2020. Venue: virtually via Zoom and also in person at the International Conference Center, Lead City University, Ibadan. Calling on academics to submit abstracts and papers. Calling on young women between the ages of 18 to 25 and above to apply for Women Business Ownership Program for the prize of up to $10,000. Secondary school girls aged 12 to 16 are to submit essays, creative arts, and enter for debate and quiz for the grand prize of 50,000 naira for each competition. Conference fee for virtual 5,000 naira, in person 15,000 naira, and for secondary school 1,000 naira. For registration, contact 0815-271-9250 or BCOS commercial@gmail.com. You can also contact BCOS Major at yahoo.com or visit BCOS Room 5, Ile Akede, Bashorun, Ibadan.
So glad to know you're there. Still conversation with Dayo and Tola right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM. We continue with the headlines.
We have this one. Well, the Borno Governor's Convoy again. It says Borno Governor's Convoy escapes another attack from suspected Boko Haram members, returns to Maiduguri, welcomes 1,000 returnees to Baga. 18 killed in earlier attack. Defense headquarters confirms. That's on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay. 18 security men that they can have.
Okay, well, maybe 18 soldiers. That's defense headquarters.
Okay. From their hand.
From their
definitely. They will most likely be only able to account for their own men. Whichever way, every life matters. So, I mean, whether 1 or 18 or 8, or 30, as some newspapers reported. May their soul rest in peace. Who wants Zulum dead? I think that's one major question.
Big question.
And for somebody who might be thinking we are talking about that headline you read was not the
Yeah, that's another attack.
Okay. All right. Power generation, it's 4,312 megawatts. 16 plants record increase. Page 26 of the Punch newspaper.
Oluyole is in the news again. It says kingmakers seek court injunction restraining Oluyole from sacking them. That's on page 29. The kingmakers who want to sack the Oluyole now, the Oluyole says he's going to sack them. How do you sack those that made you king?
Well, so that they will not make someone else king or dethrone him. Maybe.
But I think the Oluyole is, well, with due respect to Kabisi, I think is the proverbial something with 9 lives. He always seems to survive.
He will still survive this, right?
I believe he will survive this.
Well, he's always in the news. Well, so we'll still get to read about him. Mind you, he's the king, so these thieves are the ones that would rather go.
When you are king, when you are king, you are king.
That's it. That's it. So live with it. Sorry,
yeah, even in ancient times there was democracy. You remember how powerful the Oyomesi were in those days. The fear of them is the beginning of wisdom for the Allah phase of that time. The fear of the Oyomesi and the reverence of the Oyomesi, if you can't remember. And these things actually cut across in traditional settings in those days. Well, I don't know about now. The Oluyole will declare himself an emperor anyway. If you remember.
Well, we'll see how this turns out, because these are the kingmakers. Let's see if they can pull any weight, as the case may be. Present cracks may lead to Nigeria's breakup. Guess who's talking again? Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
Oh,
is this not Olusegun Obasanjo? GCFR said, and they insulted his generation. This is what he said now.
Well,
is Professor Osinbajo currently living in a good house inside the Asorok? Are you sure he's still living there?
Because the statements he has been making in recent times.
I mean, when I saw this headline, I'm like, wait, Osinbajo, or maybe his brother. Is it him?
You know when he spoke on the issue of refineries, I was actually trying to cut him some slack that perhaps he's actually indirectly speaking the mind of the government. The government asking him to test the waters and see how it will. But now
something is going on in that villa. Present cracks may lead to Nigeria's breakup. Osinbajo warns. Page 40 of the Punch newspaper. I'm sure we'll read this story.
Well, depending on what he means, maybe statements being made by some people.
Is this not clear?
Oh.
Well, we'll take the story.
It may not be in the context of what Baba Obasanjo was saying.
Okay, we'll take the story. It's us this morning.
North remains impoverished despite dominating politics. That's coming from Audogbe. That's one person who has also been very vocal in the sentence.
Is that president's friend now? Well, until he removed him from the Minister of Agri. You understand that? You know, it's easier to pontificate when you're on the other side. Oh, sorry, when you are outside the kitchen. But when you are in the kitchen and you're on the table, you maintain some culinary, some table etiquettes. But now he's no longer at the table, so he's no longer at the table. So
he's also saying the CF would present an economic blueprint. What that would look like. Considering the position of ACF on national issues, what the economic blueprint would look like.
Okay. PDP 2019 Presidential Review Panel consults OBJ, IBB, and Mark. That's David Mark. Page 18 of the Punch newspaper.
So, no politics. Mimiko Akeredolu trade words on governance. That's to be expected. That's on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Tola, I think now we know why some states have not been able to pay pension and most likely probably gratuity. 32 states not remitting workers' contributory pensions.
Oh.
PENCOM. So if they are not remitting, how would they pay?
So where does the contribute pensions go?
I don't know that one. Are you asking me? We should ask the government. 32 out of 36. They are not remitting anything. Okay. All right. The details on page 25 of the Punch newspaper.
The pensioners themselves have not been very happy with that that contributory pension scheme. They've always said that the states are not doing the needful. That if it were properly managed, it would have been a very laudable scheme according to the pensioners. So that's why they've always been against it anyway. And we have this one. Well, Baby Niger fans. Lakon wins 30 million SUV house in Baby Niger lockdown edition.
We say of Lakon. Lakon emerges Baby Niger winner, cuts home 85 million naira prize for sleeping and waking up, dancing and eating, talking and chatting for how many days? Okay. Now you see why.
And then for a show where people don't see anything wrong with having sex in front of the whole world.
I don't know what word to use, but then you get paid.
And debauchery, when you get paid for debauchery.
Tola, You're waking up 6 a.m., 5 a.m., get there 6:30 a.m. 85 million,
Well. And the sponsors of this program, they actually see when young talents, when people go for international sports competitions, international essay competitions, and the government sometimes finds it very difficult to actually pay these young men and women what they deserve when they do the nation proud. And yet they are also eager to sponsor. Well, I don't know.
Well, they are mostly generating content for where attention is. It's a marketing strategy. If you want people to focus on something, put that content where attention is. Attention currently is on entertainment. Even if the whole world is burning down, the young people, even old people, you'll be surprised. You see, people that you think, they say, they know everybody in BB Nigeria. I'm sorry, I've not sat down to watch 20 minutes since it started and ended. If I was seeing that it ended on social media yesterday, I just saw that it had ended and somebody won. Okay, so for those who have the time, you'll be surprised. They'll be telling you their names, what this one does and all that. How that adds to their life, I don't know.
Honestly, what personal opinion here, and while not trying to run down an issue, like I said, personal opinion, and I do respect the rights of the fans of BB Nigeria to
they have a right to watch what honestly, they choose to.
Honestly, personally, I think that show is a reflection of everything that is wrong with our youth, that is wrong with us as a country. Honestly, preferring debauchery, preferring everything that is not right to doing the needful. Honestly, that is the way I see it, and I wonder precisely what value does it add to the society. I've been thinking. I've actually cracked my brain. I've been thinking ever since this show, it's the airwaves. I've been thinking exactly, and so no one has been able to tell me exactly what this show is trying to impact, what they are trying to tell the people, what value they are trying to add to society. No one has been able to answer that question.
They are trying to make money. There's no value. They are trying to make money. You know how much those guys make? The text messages that people send, billions here involved here. So it's an industry. They are making money. They are not bothered about values. It's unfortunate. This is where we find ourselves.
Like we said, due regard and due respect to the lovers of that show.
Enjoy it.
Personal opinion we are expressing here.
You are free to watch whatever you want to watch. It's in your house, not as long as it does not affect anyone. Please go ahead. Yeah, it's your choice. Again, Boko Haram attacks Zulum's convoy, so they are injured. That's on page 40 of the Punch newspaper. And please arrest Ogun cultists during mourning of dead colleague. Pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper.
Also, our Catholic priest abducted inside farm in Delta.
Amechi Wike exchange words at Supreme Court Justice's burial. Respect the judge now. Page 18 of the Punch newspaper. Is that a sign of what is to come in Rivers State in the next election? It would not be funny.
Luther's trial, AGF in custody of 118 files of ex-governors. Others set up, writes Buhari.
So what is he doing with them?
Set up is given a 2-week ultimatum for the names to be made public and for the AGF to start legal action. Well, maybe they're still trying to gather more facts.
It's okay. All right.
And will make importation of falsified medicines unattractive for shady importers, says NAFDAC.
All right. Akeredolu Mimiko campaign clash over performance. And that's on page 18 of the Punch newspaper.
No cash stolen from NECO under my watch, says Ghana ex-acting registrar.
Okay. And you have 3 Lagos cops returning from Edo election die in crash. It's just so rest in peace. Pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. And finally, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, Yoruba orders have rights to demand independence. As Professor Banji Akintoye, he has been consistent on this agitation. Page 41 of the Punch newspaper, Yoruba orders have rights to demand independence. Professor Banji Akintoye. That's on page 41 of the Punch newspaper.
We're still talking Yoruba fashion and team. Area gift to Yoruba race, says Alaafin. And we also have crime and human angle stories. 1 killed, 3 injured as 2 vehicles collide in Lagos. And commercial motorcyclist hangs self in Ibadan. Expert
blames federal government for water bills rejection. Okay. That's on page 6 of the Punch newspaper.
UIVC race. 2 professors protest election of Senate representatives. Petition writing not new will look into them, says management.
Okay. Right. Let's see if we can take more politics story before we go to sports. If you have more, you may proceed.
Right. Well, national security, actually, 13 Boko Haram terrorists, 23 family members surrendered to troops in Borno. And shooting, policeman attacked to me not involved, says Tambuwal. Danon tasked security agencies to interface with traditional rulers. More from the crime and human angle page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, I'm still on some politics right here. Ekiti Attorney General asks Babafemi Ojudu orders to retract allegations against Fayemi. That's on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. And on the same page 18, you have God destined my re-election to serve Edo people, or Baseki, right there.
And former CBN deputy governor and the governor candidate of the APC in the last elections has been sharing some of his life experiences as he turned 50. He says, my narrow escape in Lagos Mulwe. That's coming from Chief Adebayo Adelabu. He also my narrow escape in Lagos Mulwe, and he also speaks on a number of other issues, national issues and politics.
Okay, we wish him a happy birthday. On the business and economy page of the Punch newspaper, federal government states establish expatriate monitoring committees. And Gombe plans 2.5 billion naira business survivor fund. Export Council takes business preservation campaigns to markets. Okay. See, some more business stories before we go to sports. Stock market extends weekly gains by 390 billion naira. And China admitted to the FTSE World Government Bond Index. NAFDAC to conduct pre-shipment analysis on imported drugs. That's on page 31 of the Punch newspaper.
From the sports pages of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, Bayern humiliated after 32 wins. Undefeated Adesanya retains UFC title. VAR controversy in Real win over Betis. Mourinho's aide sent off in penalty rule. That's sports pages of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
On the sports page of the Punch newspaper, precisely page 46, Euro roundup, Eagles forwards fire blank. Trust Ekong Onyekeru benched. And we have UFC, Adesanya pockets $0.6 million from Costa win. And you have why we dropped Uzoho Akpei for friendlies, says Agu. Austria to allow 10,000 fans for Eagles friendly. Hoffenheim end Bayern's 23-match unbeaten run. Wow, such a club, would not have expected such a club to punch their balloon right there. Okay, that's about that on the sports page of the Punch newspaper. Time check 6:54 a.m. Destination time 7:30 a.m. It's the conversation with Dio and Tola. We go straight to the meat of the news. You want to fire the first shot? We start with the labor news.
Well, the latest reports actually say that the planned nationwide strike and shutdown has been suspended. A fallout of negotiations that went far into the night between government and organized labor. Well, I guess the full details are yet to emerge, but two major things we gathered is that power tariff increase has been suspended while petrol pump price increment remains. Now, I guess it's for the public to actually decide if the labor leadership and the government have actually made some level of progress in this matter. We understand there is a 2-week window, actually.
I think I have details here. The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have suspended the strike schedule to commence today, Monday. This followed an agreement reached with the federal government at a meeting which started at 8:30 p.m. on Sunday and ended at 2:50 a.m. this morning. After exhaustive deliberations on the issues raised by the Labour senators, the meeting agreed to suspend the application of the cost-reflective electricity tariff adjustments for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, read the 5-page communique signed by the representatives of the government and Labour. The NLC President Ayu Oba and his Trade Union Congress counterpart Oluyole, amongst others, signed on behalf of Organised Labour by the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, Minister of State Petroleum Timi Priye-Silva, Minister of State Labour and Employment Festus Keyamo, SAN, Minister of Information Lai Mohammed, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and others signed on behalf of the government. Oluyole confirmed the development in an interview with Punch on Monday morning. He said, definitely correct. We just left a press conference where we signed a document to suspend the action for 2 weeks for the government to implement those things that we agreed in the agreement. So we are suspending for 2 weeks. We don't need a notice again to reconvene if there's need to do that. Now, the parties agreed to set up a technical committee comprising ministries, departments, agencies, NLC and TUC. It would work for a duration of 2 weeks effective September 28th to examine the justifications for the new policy in view of the need for the validation of the basis for the new cost-reflective tariff as a result of the conflicting information from the fields which appeared different from the data presented to justify the new policy by NERC. Metering, deployment, challenges, timeline for massive rollout. The members of the committee, okay, of course, the same names we mentioned and some other ones that were found there. So strike suspended for 2 weeks. Major decision made regarding power tariff.
What about fuel? Did they say anything?
I can't see anything here yet about that. Maybe when they start meeting for the 2 weeks, we'll start hearing regarding Okay, something about the NNPC here. All parties agreed on the urgency for increasing the local refining capacity of the nation to reduce the overdependency on importation. And to address this, the parties resolved that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation should expedite the rehabilitation of the nation's 4 refineries. Long time. You were waiting for refineries Parako, Warri, and Kaduna to achieve 50% completion by December 2021. While timelines and delivery for Warri and Kaduna will be established by the Inclusive Steering Committee to ensure commitment and transparency to the processes and timelines of the rehabilitation exercise, the management of NNPC has offered to integrate the national leadership of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers and Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association into the steering committee. Okay. More money. It added that a validation team comprising of the NNPC, Nupeng, Pengasan will establish and monitor the progress of the rehabilitation of the refineries. It also stated that post-rehabilitation, NNPC shall involve Pengasan and Nupeng. So regarding energy, I think that is the latest. To cushion the impact of the downstream sector deregulation and tariff adjustment in the power sector, the FG agreed to announce in 2 weeks a specific amount to be assessed by workers with subsequent provision of 240,000 under the auspices of the NLC and TUC for participation in agricultural ventures through the Central Bank and the Ministry of Agriculture. So the government will also make available to organized labor 133 CNG LPG driven mass transit buses immediately and provide it to the major cities across the country on a scale-up basis thereafter to all states and local governments before December 2021. On housing, 10% to be allocated to Nigerian workers under the ongoing Ministry of Housing and Finance initiative through the NLC and TUC. VAT on minimum wage. The meeting further resolved that the federal government will facilitate the removal of tax on minimum wage as a way of cushioning the impacts of the policy on the lowest vulnerable. So clearly, this negotiation decided to go for palliatives. Instead of reduction of the tariff. Well, for those who threw some rocks at us last week, you remember that day.
We mentioned.
In all fairness, I had to stop reading some of those comments when it got to a point that they thought we had become APC, stop supporting Buhari and all that. It's obvious. As far as IMF is concerned, we dare not reduce the tariff price hike. We dare not. Nigeria, we dare not tamper with that increase because it's an agreement. In fact, it's an instruction.
Because they hold our economy by the jugular.
That's it. So we just need to be sincere with ourselves. Some people that felt we were trying to support federal government. It's not that. We're just being sincere. I'm sure when the chips were down during this negotiation, the TUC and NLC saw in Twitter and said, see, we don't have a choice here. If we can, we will. But there's no way we can tamper with this. So can we talk about palliatives? So VAT has been removed. Okay, they expect VAT to be removed. Don't let me say VAT has been removed. That would be jumping the gun. They agreed that VAT will be removed. So it's next for the president and the necessary people to make the pronouncement that henceforth value-added tax will be removed. Will no longer be removed, I beg your pardon, from minimum wage. Maybe that will help some people save some money. Do you think?
But the issue here is that they are talking about a 2-week window here. These things will take more than 2 weeks to implement. Even the December date that is being proposed by the federal government to get some of these things done, it will take much longer than this.
I think they're just trying to buy time. One thing is certain. Well, because some people might still want to throw rocks. One thing is clear, Tola. These prices will not go down. That's the truth.
And also, I want to ask a question there. In 2 weeks, will the government confidently be able to beat his chest and say that Nigerians can now enjoy aside from palliatives, power, for instance, will Nigerians in 2 weeks be able to enjoy value for their money in terms of services rendered by the power distribution companies?
I think we both know the answer. That cannot happen in 2 weeks. It can't happen in 2 weeks. That's the truth. They're just trying to buy time so that people will just, adjust and all that. The truth is, this tariff is not going down, and we might just have to go for palliatives, as the case may be. Except there's a way to pay back our debt. If we are still as indebted as we are right now as a nation, we will have to stick with that decision made by the IMF. Unfortunately so.
No, it would indeed be very difficult for the federal government to budge on this.
That's it.
Given the fact that fuel is the focal point of attention, it is the substance at the center of it all, not just for Nigeria, but for the international community who are interested in Nigeria, the international finance institutions that seem to be driving these policies and decisions as conditionalities for much needed lifeline which they are offering at this time. Well, at the time when we are not just coming out bruised and battered by the impact of COVID-19, we also face an imminent recession. So for price hike to stay permanently or be reversed or be reviewed slightly downwards, the days ahead and further negotiations would tell. But like we said, I think we all know the answer to that.
We do.
And I think the international community too needs to start understanding certain things, and the fact that I think their support would also help a lot by way of implementing these palliatives, even beyond what the federal government is proposing. Well, the long and short of it is that I am glad the strike has been suspended, possibly to pave way for further negotiations. I'm definitely for negotiations anytime. I mean, in this particular situation, while agitating and fighting against the looming hardship that increment in the price of energy would bring in, we also need to weigh the pros and cons of what a nationwide shutdown would do to us all at this time. Consider an instance, the COVID-19 lockdown, or the toll it has already taken on us as a nation, and if we are now to go on the shutdown, the COVID-19 lockdown, what it did to
exactly.
the economy, what it did to
we really
families.
Cannot afford to lose more money here. I hope they won't say we are, but I hope somebody come and say we are supporting the government here. It's just the truth. We'll be stating here, and it's the obvious truth. Okay, can we take this Vice President's statement on page 40? Present cracks may lead to Nigeria's breakup. Oshimbajo warns. We should be able to take one or two more stories before we open the phone lines. I can see the phone line is beeping already. Please hold on. I know you want to talk. Okay. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshimbajo, has said Nigeria may break up if efforts are not made to address the cracks. He said efforts to mend the crack may be opposed, but such opposition would be defeated with focus and consistent prayer. So Oshimbajo gave the warning on Sunday in Abuja at an interdenominational church service to commemorate Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary. The Vice President was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, at the National Ecumenical Center, where the anniversary service held. In attendance were representatives of the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, Head of Service of the Federation, Fola Shade Yemieson, permanent secretaries, military officials, members of the diplomatic corps community, and senior government officials, referencing the biblical story of how Nehemiah championed the rebuilding of the broken walls of Jerusalem. Oshimbajo said the story should be a challenge to every Christian in Nigeria. It's only that kind of Nehemiah's love that will make us as Nigerians to rebuild the cracks we have in our walls today. For us in Nigeria, Nehemiah should be taken as a metaphor for those Nigerians who either reside in Nigeria or outside to cry to God to use the abundant opportunities in Nigeria to address our challenges of nation building. Present cracks may lead to Nigeria's breakup. Oshimbajo warns. Page 40 of the Punch newspaper. You want to take one more story before we open the phone lines?
We also have this one. North remains impoverished despite dominating politics. That's coming from Audubi. National Chairman of the Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, Chief Audubi, says despite towering over the country politically since independence in 1960, the region has continued to be dogged by poverty. According to him, no amount of political power held by Northerners would liberate the region from the shackles of poverty, which he said has eaten deep into the north. Speaking when the leadership of the North Central People's Forum visited him in Abuja, Ogbe, who expressed surprise at the creation of the group, however, said he had no problem with the formation of new groups from the north, since the objective is to help drive the development of the region. It is told that ACF would release the economic blueprint for the north in the next 2 weeks. He noted that in spite of the huge agricultural potential of the north, which occupies 76% of Nigeria's landmass, the region has remained backward, adding that it must refocus and re-strategize in order to curb the rising crime wave. North remains impoverished despite dominating politics, says Audubi.
Time check, 7:08 a.m. Destination time, 7:30 a.m. The phone lines are open, okay? And if you notice, since Saturday, we'll be opening 2 different lines, 090-250-38006 and 080-5500-9850. I'll take the 2 lines again separately. 090-250-38006. Again, 090-250-38006. And of course, the regular line, 080-5500-9850. Do we have someone here?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
This is my cousin, Peter Marafa, calling from Oluyole.
Nice to have you, sir.
So, don't let us forget that NLC and CUC have changed their mind. Some people have been saying it before, that NLC and CUC, they are just shouting.
Yeah.
So, there's nothing they bring up after their meeting. So, God bless Nigeria. It's only God that we need to call for intervention now. So, we don't come and rescue us in Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Kadam Isiaka Marafa. Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning. You're on.
Hello. Oh.
Okay, you might need to call us back. All right, 080-550-9850, 090-250-38006.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How do you know?
This is Aruna from Odoro, Gomosho.
Nice to have you.
Good morning this morning, sir.
Good morning.
You can see last week, someone said we are going to say that NSC will call off the strike before this morning. And you can see that when you are in Nigeria, you can easily predict what is going to happen in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate. God bless Nigeria. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Aruna from Odoro. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Please stay away from your radio set. We can hear you clearly.
Hello, good morning. This is Dr. Ayodiro.
From where, sir?
From Ogbomoso.
Nice to have you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate, just as Aruna said. It's very easy to predict what will happen in Nigeria.
Wow.
I knew that this is what will happen.
Wow.
So, they are just deceiving us in this country. Well, I can imagine they don't even say anything about fuel, the increase in fuel price. I think they are just talking about that of electricity bill. So, well, I'm so happy. This is my first time on this radio.
Wow. Nice to have you, sir. Thank you so much for joining
you guys
us.
are doing nice work. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ayodiro from Ogbomoso. Okay, the phone lines are open. Ragia Fis Abidemi on Twitter is saying on the issue of NLC strike, that's the end of the story. They said 2 weeks. The deal is done. You keep okay. Says be preparing to pay your new bill from next month. Federal government need money seriously, so let's prepare to carry on with our struggle. Federal government has succeeded in kicking out the labor. Yeah. All right, we'll take another call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
My name is Antenna from Repo Local Government Division.
Ah, I didn't get that name. From Irepo.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay, I think you said your repo.
from Repo Local Government.
Okay.
Your name?
Mr. Antenna.
Mr. Atena, go ahead. Go ahead with your comments. Oh, okay. Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Your name and location.
Honorable Sir Folabi from Ado-Awaye.
Oh, nice to have you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Relating to the statement credited to the Vice President that the strike in Nigeria may break Nigeria, automatically everybody knows that the situation on ground in this country now, I used to say it on this program that it must be perfectly for this country because with the way President Muhammad Buhari is directing this country, we should restructure this country. Without restructuring, automatically we are going to break away. You see the agitation here and there. Odudua, IPOP, we are going to break.
Wow.
If they are not going to break, we can restructure. Without restructuring, we cannot conduct 2020 presidential election. In this situation on ground. See what happened in Borno to the governor of Borno State. They are telling us that no more Boko Haram, no more Boko Haram. See the civilians that were killed on the entourage of the governor. See the soldiers that were killed. See the policemen, 12 policemen, 6 soldiers, 13 civilians. Armored vehicles were carried away by the Boko Haram. And the president is telling us that he's fighting Boko Haram, he's fighting corruption. Where are we heading to?
Oh.
Let's restructure the country.
All right.
We must restructure. Without restructuring, nothing we can do. They cannot go to a conference of 2014. Let's do another restructuring. It's not constitutional amendment. Constitutional amendment is just a disease. They are deceiving us. It's just a delay tactic.
All right. Thank you so much,
we need
Honorable.
to be prayerful.
Thank you
We don't
so
know
much.
where we are going. No security, no anything.
Thank you, Honorable.
All right, thank you, Honorable. We
God
really
bless Nigeria
appreciate
and
it.
Oyo State.
Amen. We'll do for commercial break. When we're back, we'll take more calls. Don't go anywhere.
The Global Youth Leadership and Girl Child Foundation, in partnership with the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, presents the 6th International Interdisciplinary Conference on Raising Girls' Ambition, RAGA 2020. Theme, Advancing Women's Career for Sustainable Development. Date, 13th to 16th October 2020. Venue, virtually via Zoom and also in person at the International Conference Center, Lead City University, Ibadan. Calling on academics to submit abstracts and papers. Calling on young women between the ages of 18 to 25 and above to apply for Women Business Ownership Program for the prize of up to $10,000. Secondary school girls aged 12 to 16 are to submit essays, creative arts, and enter for debate and quiz for the grand prize of 50,000 naira for each competition. Conference fee for virtual 5,000 naira, in person 15,000 naira, and for secondary school 1,000 naira. For registration, contact 0815-271-9250 or BCOS commercial@gmail.com. You can also contact BCOS Major at yahoo.com or visit BCOS Room 5, Liliakede, Bashorun, Ibadan.
So glad to know you're still there. It's still Conversation with Dayo and Tola right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Today, the 28th of September, is International Day for Universal Access to Information. Recall that the right to seek, receive, and impart information is an integral part of the right to freedom of expression, as defined in Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and Article 19 also of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Today is the International Day for Universal Access to Information. We take more calls. 080-550-09850, 090-250-38006. Seems someone is here.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You are somewhere we can't pick your call to. I mean, we can't hear you clearly.
The line is
muffled from your hand.
Wow, are you serious?
Yes, please move to somewhere. Sorry. You'll have to call us back, Dr. Gigi.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, better now.
Hello.
Still muffled. Still
okay,
muffled.
now,
It's
I have only 1 point this morning.
Okay.
Okay, it's about our VP who asked all Christians like Nehemiah. Every Nigerian Christian cannot be the leader. This is why God has put him in that position.
Okay.
Not to be in that position.
Okay.
He should ask himself, please.
All right. We'll have to let you go. I think he was talking about the speech of Mr. Vice President, talking about Nehemiah. I think VP should be the Nehemiah. He should just be. He should be our Nehemiah. Yeah, just be our Nehemiah. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. B&T.
Good morning,
Sir.
This is Elijah Lamka from Oluyole.
Nice to have you, sir.
I want to talk on the non-remittance of contribute pension by 32 states.
Okay.
The money considered by workers to prepare for a safe landing after retirement. Standardly misappropriated or diverted. The pensioners are therefore left to rotting 3, 4, 5 years after retirement, where they cannot access their rightful contribution, talk less of getting the government share. Why are these people so callous? These people appear not godly. They are forgetting that everyone will give account of his stewardship. If they are seated by men, they cannot expect God's torment. Good morning, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alaji Lamkan. We'll pick another call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello there, Tola.
We can hear you. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello there.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Oh, well, that's from your hand. We could hear you. Is it still there? Or someone else is there?
Someone else. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. We can hear you. Your name and location. Nice to have you. Go ahead with your comment, Mr. Isaac.
You know, I've been saying time without number that this people have been compromised. They have been brought over. I know that what is going to happen. They are going to call all this like at the 11th hour and see what happens now. They cannot fight for Nigeria. They are just fighting for themselves and for their pocket and for their family.
Wow.
Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Isaac Agbola from Owode Ogbomoso. Facebook is loaded. Aziz Soli Olugbile, thank you, sir. From me saying, Adeoti Kunle says the DNT for the NLC and TC to suspend the planned strike on a mere promise of palliative is another era of Pascal Bafi resurfacing Nigerians. Leave you over to God for justice. And the incessant Borno governorship attack on the governor's convoy, it is high time we declared Borno State as a danger zone for innocent Nigerians not to fall victims of those soldiers. We'll pick another call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Alaji Ainabogo is on the line from Lanlate.
Nice to have you, sir.
It is no more in news that Nigeria are faced with many challenges. And these challenges are so many. But I believe instead of attacking or dealing with the challenges in once, we should have been picking it one by one. The challenges of insecurity, they should at least take a state of emergency on security. Now we have that. When you look at the plenty supply of power, and we come to Ibarapa here, I don't know what is really happening. They give you light for a day, for a week you don't have light.
Yeah.
All these many challenges need proper solution. So let me stop on that.
Right.
On the proposed strike, we should not condemn the union. You know, it's not so easy. The governor are after their neck. People are so after their neck. And if you are fighting for a cause, it should be give and take. Let's look whether things will change. Let's give them room and let's allow them. And there's one thing, if our union are doing something tangible, we should applaud them and appreciate them. It's not all the time that we continue to strike. If you have a brunt on the masses, thank you, Alhaji.
All right. Thank you so much, Alhaji. Adelowo Wasiu Mayowa saying good morning on Borno State government. He should remember he can only help his people when he's alive. Should stay away from areas being controlled by terrorists. Okay, thank you. Otumba Fade Yadiolu Cornelius saying good morning, DNT. Amidst insecurity we're facing in this country, why is Mr. President still keeping the service chiefs? I don't know. I don't know. He might have his reasons that we don't know. Orobade Williams. Your man is here. So the constant issue of Kabi Oluwo, well, he said he will send the right signal to the kingmakers in Yoruba land in the process of selection to always follow the laid down rules. Are you saying they didn't follow it when they chose it? I don't understand though. This is your man. I don't understand what you are trying to say, sir. Olusegun Ojo, good morning, Diane Tola. Woke up to a rude shock of the caption, 32 states not remitting pension. Yes, sir. We saw it here too and we read it. This is a colossal failure of governance, because I doubt if any elected governor will remedy this locust-like situation that has bedeviled the workers of these affected states. Thank you. Sheyi Ogunjimi, we appreciate you. Matthew Olaleru, thank you. Adiola Sunday, thank you. We can take all the calls, but we go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Mauritania, Gomosho.
Nice to have you, Yamasura.
I want to support Haruna, Isaka, Morafa, and Remy from Ukewode, Gomosho.
Okay.
For what they are saying this morning about calling North of track. What I know is that we don't know where we are going in Nigeria, but my prayer for pure people in Nigeria is God will provide for us and be with us and guide us.
Okay.
God will help us too.
All right. Amen. Thank you so much, Yamasura. Bayo Badmos at Obeska on Twitter saying because of the upcoming Independence Day celebration and how bad this government will look to both Nigerians and the international community, they have decided to promise heaven and heart and coax the union in suspending the strike, and they agreed. Bayo Badmos from Ogumosho. Thank you. I don't know whether they agreed. Let's pick this call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and location?
Yes. Those who condemn the recent changes in petrol are unrealistic. The petrol found in Nigeria, is it our sweat that put it there? Suppose our ancient fathers saw the fuel and sold and have it sold a century back. Are we now going to commit suicide? Our wealth is to be created with our sweat. Nigeria still sells petrol at the cheapest price in West Africa. We should be realistic. Most of the subsidy being paid on fuel in the north, they export the thing to the neighboring countries illegally. Look at how much is derived from customs in the west, in the south. Not much is derived from the north. So this thing is in the right direction. In fact, I expect more increase in the petrol so that legal exportation will stop.
You didn't tell us your name, sir.
Our own wealth with our sweat. I'm Abe from Yana Church. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I'm not sure too many people will agree to that, but it's his own opinion. He has every right to say that. Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, Mr. Moses Odenino.
Mr. Moses Odenino, go ahead, sir. Briefly. Go ahead, sir.
I really appreciate the two of you over there.
It seems you are close to your radio set, sir. We can hear ourselves.
You are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
But the issue on ground, just about the strike. Strike cannot solve this problem in Nigeria.
Okay.
If you go on round table talk, striking cannot help all.
All right.
The innocent will feel it. Then more.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. At this juncture, we have to go. We've got bills to pay. We're even out of time. Till tomorrow, when we come your way again, I remain Oladayo Ogunbowale.
Tola Teriba.
Thank you so much for your comments. We really appreciate it. We just couldn't take them all today. Have a wonderful day.
Mikolo, my engine sounds like brand new. Is it not the same Mobile Super 1000 you used to service it?
Not the same Mobile Super 1000, but levels don't change.
Yes! Mobile Super 1000 XHP is now improved to meet standard of quality APISN. So, whether you buy Mobile Super 1000 XHP, Mobile Super 2000 semi-synthetic, or even the new fully synthetic Mobile Super 3000, you are guaranteed the APISN perfection in every drop.
Make it mobile.
Ìyá mi Àyìnkẹ́, adájọ́ tí kì í fi gbá kan bọ̀ kan.
Ṣé wo mọ̀ yí pé apá ipò lẹ́yìn àgbà, ọmọdé apá lẹ́yìn tiẹ̀ náà, má yájú sẹ́gbọ̀n rẹ̀ mọ́ o.
Olú alámọ̀ ní kọ̀rọ̀ yàrá kí n má bàa fi gbogbo owó jẹ wóróbo.
Àjàní, kódà kéèyàn fọwọ́ mẹ́wẹ̀ẹ̀wá jẹun, ná díẹ̀ fi díẹ̀ pamọ́ torí ọjọ́ ọ̀la ni.
Tí n bá rántí ẹ̀kọ́ nípa bá a ti múra lámúyẹ, ẹ̀rín á sì pa mí títí.
Ewu ọmọ mi Àjàní, bó ti wọ bàtà ọ̀tún sósì bí ẹni ń lo oko ọdẹ, ó yá ọkọ mi tún bàtà rẹ wọ̀ dáadáa.
Fún àwọn òpómúlérò ìyá, ẹ̀mí àbàtà tí mọ́dọ̀ ṣàn ní 3 crowns. Ìtọ́jú àwọn ìyá ṣe pàtàkì kí wọ́n lè tẹ̀síwájú ipa rere aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ tí wọ́n ń kó lórí ẹbí gbogbo.
3 crowns milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Oral-B 2-in-1 got me fresh all day like ooh, I'm still fresh for gisting all day. My confidence is never low, never on fresh, 'cause I've got healthy strong teeth and Oral-B 2-in-1 got me fresh all day like ooh.
Use Oral-B 2-in-1 toothpaste for stronger healthy teeth and long-lasting fresh breath.
Oluyole.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Here we go.
Good morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Oyo State. Good morning, Nigeria. Time check at 7:30 a.m. And of course, you already know that is sport time right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM, the trailblazer, the pride of the nation. You know, we're the best in the West. Well, Puluwa Jogumla is here once again to bring you up to speed with all the happenings in the world of sports. Bring you the latest, the hottest, and of course, the juiciest news you can only get on this golden radio dial. It's Oluyole 98.5 FM. And don't forget, you can listen to us anywhere you are on planet Earth. Just visit www.bsws.tv and click listen. You can also watch a live stream on Facebook and of course on Twitter. On Facebook, just visit Oluyole 98.5 FM. Like us on Facebook, and of course you get to listen to watch all our programs live. And of course on Twitter, search Oluyole FM on Twitter at Oluyole FM. Follow us and of course get to enjoy all our live stream right there. On the show this morning, we've got a lot of grounds to cover as we'll be checking out the reasons why Super Eagles' first, second, and third choice goalkeepers have failed to make it into Gannett Roar's invited list of players for next month's friendly games against Algeria and Tunisia. We'll be hearing, and of course, taking the thought of Aloy Ago, Super Eagles goalkeeper trainer. We also take a look at our Nigerian players fared in the colours of their respective club sides at the weekend. The likes of Alex Iwobi, the likes of Victor Osimhen, Samuel Nwanko, and of course Kelechi Iheanacho were all in action for their respective club sides, but were not on the scorer sheet. From there, we'll take a look at the friendly games that are coming up in Austria between Nigeria and Algeria, and of course Nigeria and Tunisia, as fans are set to watch the game live in the stadium. Let's take a look at a Nigerian who made us proud at the weekend, Israel Adesanya, who defended his middleweight title against a Brazilian Paulo Costa. Well, we'll be talking about the amount that he took home after that big fight, huge amount I must say, and of course we'll take a look at the NBA Finals. We've got the finalists already, and a Nigerian, a player of the Tigers of Nigeria, is going to the NBA Finals. Well, in case you don't know, well, today I will reveal his name to you, and of course the position he plays for his team. There's so many more you stand to enjoy on Spotted Beat this lovely morning with Boluwaji Ogumola, and of course before that, let me inform you that the show is live on Agility FM 2.1 and Okyogun FM at 96.3. Massive shout out to listeners over there in Okyogun, and of course Ogbomoso. Let's kickstart with the Super Eagles this morning, where Super Eagles goalkeeper trainer Aloy Ago says that Ikechukwu Zedwa and Daniel Akpe's inactivity and the gradual return of Francis Uzoho from injury was the major reason why the three goalkeepers were left out of the 25-man squad for next month's clash against Algeria and Tunisia in Austria. Eagles coach General called up Dele Alampaso, Matu Yakubu, and Sparta Rotterdam's Maduka Okoye in their places. The dropped goalkeepers, you remember, were part of Eagles' squad to the 2019 AFCON, where the team finished third. Akpe has been out of action since he was stretched off in Kaiser Chiefs' APSA Premier League clash against Bidfest after a nasty collision last month. The injury ruled him out for 3 weeks before the Eagles squad list was announced, while Uzoho, who copped an anterior cruciate ligament injury last October, is yet to make an official appearance for Apoel Nicosia since he joined the club. Oizewa, on his part, has been inactive for 6 months after the MPFL was suspended and later called off due to COVID-19. Well, that's the situation as far as goalkeepers are concerned for the Super Eagles. We hope that the new guys are called up. Dedel Pasu, Matu Yakubu, and Maduka Okoye will prove their method against African champions Algeria, and of course another heavyweight giant right here in Africa at Tunisia. Quick one, let's take a look at how some Nigeria players have fared in the colours of their respective club sides at the weekend. Super Eagles forwards Victor Osimhen, Samuel Kalu, Sami Nwanko, Alex Iwobi, and Kelechi Iheanacho all represented their club sides at the weekend but failed to score for their respective club sides. Osimhen had an assist on his full debut for Napoli on Sunday in their 6-0 trouncing of Genoa, although he created a goal for Patria Zielinski, but he couldn't find the net. Osimhen was however cautioned during the game, but of course he's still waiting for his first goal for Napoli in 2 Serie A matches since his arrival from Lille. Alright, from there, let me also inform you that William Troost-Ekong watched from the bench as Udinese suffered a 1-0 loss at Verona. Semi Iwanko saw 90 minutes of action for Croton, who lost 2-0 at home to AC Milan on Sunday. Semi is yet to open his goal account for his newly promoted side Croton, who are without a win in their opening 2 Serie A matches. Moving straight to the Premier League, where Iheanacho came on for hat-trick hero Jamie Vardy in Leicester City's 5-2 win over Manchester City yesterday. Iheanacho has 2 subset appearances for Leicester City, who climbed to the top of the Premier League table following their massive win at the Etihad Stadium at the weekend. For Alex Iwobi, he made his first Premier League start for Everton, who edged Crystal Palace 2-1 on Sunday. For Palace, our own Eberechi Eze was on the starting lineup, but he was replaced by Mechi Batshuaye in the 7th minute of that encounter. For Alex Iwobi, who has missed Everton's opening 2 matches against Tottenham and West Brom due to a slight knock, replaced James Rodriguez with 4 minutes left to play in that particular encounter. Heading straight to Spain, when midfielder Ramon Aziz made his first La Liga start for Granada, who were torn apart by Atletico Madrid yesterday. And of course, Luis Suarez scored twice in that particular encounter. Still in Spain, Samuel Chukwueze was handed his second start for Villarreal in their clash at FC Barcelona, but of course he couldn't score for his side over the weekend. And in France, Samuel Kalu and Josh Maja were both handed starting roles for Bordeaux, who were held to goalless draw at home to Nice. Well, that's just a quick tracker of Nigerian players, but quickly let's take a look at the friendly game coming up next month. Ahead of the two friendly matches, up to 10,000 fans might be allowed to watch the Super Eagles friendly games against Algeria and Tunisia. The Eagles will file out against Algeria on the 9th of October before slugging it out with the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia 4 days later. Both games are billed to hold at the Jacques Lamens Arena in Austria on the 9th of October. Well, Coach Garnet Rowe has already invited 25 players dominated by Europe-based players, with Saudi Arabia-based captain Ahmed Musa, the only player coming from outside Europe. We understand that fans might be allowed into both games, with the Austrian government giving room for a maximum 10,000 fans to watch matches in the country as the country tries to relax COVID-19 restrictions. While away from that, let's talk UFC this lovely morning, as the Minister for Youth and Sports in Nigeria, Sunday Dare, has congratulated Israel Adesanya following his successful UFC middleweight title defense against the Brazilian Paulo Costa on Saturday night. Adesanya knocked out his bitter rivals Costa in round 2 to retain his title. The fight, which took place in Abu Dhabi, saw Adesanya pick apart his far bigger opponent before landing brutal ground strikes. Costa was left bloodied and bruised on the canvas, with his undefeated record coming to an end. And reacting to Adesanya's win, Sunday Dyer wrote on his verified Twitter handle, I quote, UFC Israel Adesanya wins again, second round knockout, middleweight champion of the world, Nigeria and the podium once again. A shout out to the Lagos born. The minister also congratulated Nigeria's Hakeem Dawodu, who also secured his 5th consecutive win on the night after overcoming Zabiru Tsugov. Alright, after that particular fight involving Adesanya and Paulo Costa, as usual, Adesanya spoke to the media, and of course, let's listen to what Adesanya had to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 59 seconds of the second round. Declaring the winner by TKO and still the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya!
Fastest man in the world, baby. Because I run so fast, I run it into your face.
All right, here he is, the undisputed UFC middleweight champion, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. With the entire world watching, you turned in a near perfect performance here tonight. It seems like everything you said during fight week bared fruit here tonight. Congratulations.
I've been telling you guys, man, but everyone thinks, hey, like Roy Jones said, I said, y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot because of what happened last time. You thought, oh, he's so boring, blah, 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 blah. And I see you media people as well with your little clickbait headlines, but trust me, I had to make y'all remember, and I had to remind the world why we the best.
There were a lot of champions who wouldn't have asked for Yoel Romero. They wouldn't have asked for Paulo Costa. I know you want to fight the most dangerous guys, but you believe there was a major skill discrepancy here tonight. Your thoughts on that?
They listen to Israel Adesanya, proving to everyone once again and saying it that is of course obviously the best. Well, after that particular fight, let me inform that Adesanya earned $690,000 after his title defense against Paulo Costa. Well, the lifestyle bender, the last style bender, and guaranteed £600,000 appearance fee, and was also handed $40,000 promotional fee and an extra $50,000 performance incentive. Well, for his opponent, Costa, he actually earned $400,000 as appearance fee, but he could have won another $100,000 if he had defeated Adesanya. Once again, congratulations to Adesanya, who is billed to face the winner between Robert Whittaker and Jared Connor in his third middleweight title defense. The fight comes up on the 24th of October. Heading straight to the NBA this morning, talking basketball. Miami Heat are stormed into an NBA final showdown with former star LeBron James after a 125-113 victory. Completed a 4-2 win over the Boston Celtics. With Lakers won that particular one 4-1 to advance into the NBA Finals, which means it's Miami Heat versus LA Lakers in the finals that starts on Wednesday night. Miami Heat reached the five finals between 2006 and 2014, 4 of which LeBron James, who will be opposite them when his year's culmination of the NBA's finals starts on Wednesday night. And let me also inform you that the Tigers guard Gabi Nnamdi Vincent is going to the NBA Finals with Miami Heat, the first Nigerian national team player to go to the NBA Finals. Congratulations to Nnamdi. Well, now you know the teams to support between LA Lakers and Miami Heat. Well, straight away to the world of Formula One. Well, Lewis Hamilton's quest for the all-time record of Formula One wins was put on hold when he was hit with penalties at the Russian Grand Prix. Hamilton's Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas dominated after the world champion was given a 10-second penalty for doing 2 illegal practice starts. Hamilton was initially given 2 penalty points to put him 2 away. For putting him 2 away from an automatic 1-race ban, but these were later rescinded on the basis that the team were at fault. Bottas' victory meant the court cut Hamilton's championship lead to 44 points. Well, straight to the world of tennis, talking French Open this morning, where Andy Murray's return to the clay proved to be a chastening experience as he lost in straight set to Stanislav Wawrinka in the French Open first round. The 33-year-old Scot was well below the level of 2015 champion Stanislav Wawrinka. Well, Murray's exit came after British number 1 Dan Evans lost to Japan's Kei Nishikori. Also British number 1 in the female category, Johanna Konta, hopes of another deep run at the French Open were ended by American teenager Coco Gauff in the first round. Also promising Italian teenager Jannik Sinner knocked the 11th seed David Goffin out of the French Open with a 7-5, 6-0, 6-3 victory on opening day. Well, on Monday, Spain's defending champion Rafael Nadal opens his bid for a record-extending 13th title when he faces Belarusian debutant Egor Gerasimov in about 5:30 p.m. later tonight. Austria's recently crowned US Open champion Dominic Thiem, who has lost the past 2 finals to Nadal, meets Croatia's former world number 1, world number 3, Marian Cilic, also later today. Well, a quick one from UFC. Conor McGregor will come out of retirement for a boxing fight with Manny Pacquiao in the Middle East later on in the year. McGregor, a former 2-weight UFC champion, retired from fighting in June for the 3rd time in 4 years. Once again, he's trying his hand in boxing. Don't forget, last time he tried out was against Mayweather, and that didn't end well for him. Well, straight to the world of football this morning, talking about a quick review of matches played across Europe at the weekend. Well, before that review, looking forward to tonight's big game between Liverpool and Arsenal. Liverpool duo of Alisson and new signing Thiago Alcantara are facing a race against time to be fit for tonight's Premier League clash against Arsenal. Both players were impressive in last weekend's win against Chelsea as Alcantara emerged from the bench and dictated the tempo of that match with his passing, while Alisson saved a late penalty from Jorginho to wrap up the victory, with Jordan Henderson, Joe Gomez and Matip among those likely to miss out. Jurgen Klopp already already had a minor selection crisis on his hand. But taking a look at some games played in the Premier League at the weekend, Manchester United narrowly defeated Brighton & Hove Albion 3-2. Everton continued their impressive run with a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. Chelsea came from behind to draw West Bromwich Albion 3-3 in that high-tempered game on Saturday. Burnley lost at home to Southampton by a lone goal, and yesterday Sheffield United lost at home to Leeds by a lone goal. Newcastle and Tottenham settled for a 1-1 draw, which once again puts into question Jose Mourinho's technical ability at the moment. Manchester City lost at home at Etihad Stadium 5-2 in the hands of table-toppers Leicester City. West Ham United defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers by 4-0. Later tonight is Fulham versus Aston Villa, Liverpool versus Arsenal Football Club. To Spain, where Luis Suarez scored a brace and bagged an assist in his debut for Atletico Madrid in the 6-1 dribbling of Ramon Aziz Granada in the La Liga on Sunday. In other games played in the La Liga at the weekend, Real Madrid were 3-2 better than Real Betis, and also yesterday Barcelona scored 4 against Villarreal, 4-0. That game ended with Lionel Messi getting goals there once again. Moving straight to Italy this morning, where Cristiano Ronaldo's second goal of the night secured a 2-2 draw for 10-man Juventus away to AS Roma in the Serie A game played last night. Just like I mentioned earlier, Victor Osimhen's Napoli defeated Genoa 6-0, with Osimhen failing to score in that particular encounter. Straight away, let's move straight to Germany this morning, where European champions Bayern Munich slipped to a first defeat in all competitions in 33 games, getting back to December against Hoffenheim at the weekend. Well, Bayern Munich surprisingly lost 4-1 to Hoffenheim at the weekend. Well, it shows that anything can happen in the world of football, but also at the weekend in the German Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund lost to Augsburg by 2-0. It appears that a failure to our fans in the stadium is greatly affecting all the big teams across Europe. Well, Schalke 04 lost at home to Werder Bremen by 3-1, and ending up in France, where French champions Paris Saint-Germain and their third successive Ligue 1 win after their opening 2 defeats, as Argentine striker Maro Icardi scored twice in their 2-0 win as struggling Rams on Sunday. Well, that will be all on Sported Beat this lovely morning. And for highlights of our games and a comprehensive review of matches played across Europe, do join me later this afternoon at 2 p.m. on BSOS Television for Fans Forum, the only show on TV that gives fans the voice. My name is Bulu Ajogunla. The show returns tomorrow morning, same time, same station. Until then, do have a lovely day and stay safe.
káfí mọ lójú àríyá àwọn òdìrà lókè àárín tí ń bẹ lẹ́ẹ̀lẹ́ tójú yẹ àmàlà òfin ìrìnà ire ni wọ́n fi rí pejú wọ́n fi péré wọ́n fò lòlò fún un bọ́ bá ti rí ni owó o.
Tales of Odu tó jáde òní ìka kárà. Tales of Odu.
Elucidating the true position of African religion every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Join us.
It's 10 minutes before 8 on Oluyole 98.5 FM. And you're welcome to our commercial belt.
Malam.
Na'am uwar gida.
Ina cikin tsoro. Wai ka samu labarin cutar coronavirus kuwa?
Tabbas na samu labari, amma ai ba a kamuwa da ita. Sai ka hada jiki da wanda yake dauke da kwayar cutar ko kuma ka je inda kwayar cutar take.
Wannan ita ce babban matsalar. Kafin ka san wanda yake dauke da ita ai kai ma ka dauka.
Dan haka dole mu dakatar da yaduwar ta.
Ta yaya?
A kiyayi gaisawa hannu da hannu ko taba jikin juna ko karfan bene da hannun kofa da sauransu. Idan kuma an taba to a wanke hannu da sabulu ko ruwa tsaftatacce